Thank you, Paul. Now here on Tyne Tees, replacing the advertised programme, the Zodiac game, we have the eagerly awaited final of Sporting Chance.
Hello and welcome to the grand final of Sporting Chance. Well, it's taken us more than 1,000 questions, but we've managed to whittle down the best 16 quiz teams in the region right down to the very last two. And whoever picks up this trophy in just about half an hour's time can certainly consider themselves the top sporting brains in the North East. So let's meet the finalists. First, we have the defending champions, the Throckley and District Club and Institute. They're led by captain and supersport Bob Brewis. He's joined by Peter Wiley, John Doyle, and their sporting guest, top marathon runner Kevin Foster. Well, Throckley have won the Tyneside League for the last 4 seasons, but they're not underestimating the challenge they face tonight from the Rose from Wallsend, who were quite brilliant in their semi-final. Their captain is Kevin Spencer. Barry Wilkinson is the top supersport so far. Ray Nicholson has been to our final before, and they've had great help from Kirsty McDermott, Commonwealth Games 800 metres champion.
Well, both teams have brought with them a fair share of support, as you can see, and I'm not surprised because there's no doubt this is a heavyweight contest, and as usual the title will be decided over 8 rounds. We get underway with some quick-fire general knowledge questions. Speed on the buzzer that counts here, 2 points for a correct answer. Who did Lancashire play in the only Gillette Cup finals we played on a Monday? Barry Wilkinson.
Northants.
It wasn't Throckley. Anyone take it, Bob Lewis?
Kent.
Kent, correct. They won it in '74. Who was the first New Zealander to win the World Speedway title? Peter Wiley.
Ronnie Moore.
Correct, back in 1954. Who was the leading non-American golfer in the 1984 US Tour money-winning list? Barry Wilkinson.
Dennis Watson.
Of South Africa, correct, 2 points. On which horse did Brian Taylor gain his only Epsom Derby victory? Ray Nicholson.
Snow Knight.
In 1973, correct. Let's have our first action question of the final. We want to make this examination as wide-ranging as possible. So watch this clip coming up now and wait for the questions. One of the most controversial fights in heavyweight boxing history. Name the 2 men involved. Barry Wilkinson.
Greg Page and Jerry Coetzee.
That's right. Greg Page knocking out South Africa's Jerry Coetzee at Sun City Super Bowl last year to win the WBA title. That 8th round overran by 50 seconds when that punch was landed. That was Coetzee's first defence of his WBA title. Who did he won it from? Barry Wilkinson.
Michael Dokes.
Michael Dokes of the United States. When Fangio won the World Championship in 1955, what make of car did he drive? Barry Wilkinson.
Mercedes-Benz.
Correct. Who won the first individual World Masters darts title in London? Barry Wilkinson.
Alan Evans.
It wasn't London 74. Can you take it, Bob Lewis?
Cliff Inglis.
Cliff Inglis of Devon is correct. So some good scoring in that opening round. They've really been rattling along there. Let's have a look at the scoreboard for the first time. And Throckley and District Club, the champions, have 6 points, but it's the Rose Wallsend who've gone into the lead. They've got 10. Well, our 2 sporting guests won't need reminding that round 2 is entirely for themselves, and they're more than aware too that they've an important contribution to make. Again, the athletes have done rather well in the series so far, and our final guests are both runners. Throckley have had sterling service from Kevin Foster of Gateshead Harriers. Marathons are Kevin's speciality. Let's see what sort of distance your 3 questions will cover now. First, though, here's some great racing for you to watch. Well, I'm sure you know that was Seb Coe winning the '84 Olympic 1500 metres title from Steve Cram in 2nd place. But who took the bronze? Abascal from Spain. Correct, Jose Abascal of Spain. More than delighted, I think, with third place there, 2 points. In that race, Coe, of course, retained the Olympic title he'd won in Moscow. But who was the last man before him to win that 1500 crown? Last 1500-metre champion before Coe. Walker. John Walker of New Zealand in Montreal, 1976. 2 more points. Coe's winning time of 3:32.53 lowered the Olympic record, which had stood since 1968. Who held it? Kip Keino. Kip Keino, no hesitation. 3:34.9 in Mexico, 1968. So some good sterling service again from Kevin Foster. We go now over to the Rose, Wallsend, who found 800-metre specialist Kirsty McDermott, a welcome addition to their team. A race we show Kevin was one of the most famous of all time. I wonder if you've been quite so lucky, Kirsty. Let's find out. Certainly a dramatic finish. Can you name both women involved there, Kirsty?
Mary Decker and Zaitseva, the Russian.
That's right, Zamira Zaitseva and Mary Decker. Decker winning the 83 World Championships 1500 in Helsinki from the Russian. That was one of 2 individual golds the United States won on the track on the final day of those World Championships. The other was in the men's 200 metres. Who won it?
Calvin Smith.
Calvin Smith. Lewis got the 100, Calvin Smith got the 200, 20.14 his time. So Kirsty going well. Decker didn't go for the 1500 in the LA Olympics after sensationally losing in the American trials. Who beat her in those trials?
Ruth Wysocki.
Ruth Wysocki in 4:00.18, ended up coming 8th in LA after all that. So Kirsty and Kevin in flawless form in this final so far. Let's check on how they've affected the overall scoreboard though. And it's Throckley, the champions, 12. The Rose, the challengers, 16. High scoring as well, but I suppose we'd expect that by now. Well, round 3 is our picture board, and some teams have found our test of identification extremely hard. We show each team a picture of a top sports personality, but in outline only. Then we fill in the detail till somebody comes up with an answer. The quicker they can respond, the more points they can score, with 5 the top score here. It's Throckley who go first. You can only have 1 guess per team, so can you identify this picture? Peter Wiley coming straight in.
Billy Beaumont.
Billy Beaumont's an excellent answer. 5 maximum points there. Former England rugby captain, Bill Beaumont. And that's a brave go there from Peter Wiley, and one that paid off as well. So now it's the Roses' turn to respond to that answer. They go on the picture board. How quickly can you tell me who this is? Need a bit of help. This is for 4 points now. Now 3 points they're going to need. Still not coming in. They're going to need, this is for 2 points. Ray Nicholson's coming in now.
Emlyn Hughes.
Correct, it is in fact Emlyn Hughes, the former England football captain. So Billy Beaumont and Emlyn Hughes, the 2 men on the picture board. There's Emlyn Hughes in his Wolves days, that chap. And I wonder how Beaumont and Hughes might cope with Sporting Chance. Maybe we might find out one day. Anyway, that's the end of the picture board. 3 rounds gone. Let's look again at that scoreboard. And Throckley have pulled up there with that round. 17 points to the champions. The Rose Wallsend have 18 points.